not one that I really want to talk about too much. Obviously,
I do.
my boys did go down 22-12 to the Sharks. Tail of the story, Simbin early. I've got no issues with Butcher Simbin. He got done with one of those hip drop tackles. I know it wasn't a conventional hip drop. He slipped off, but the way they've cracked down, that's the letter of the law. If you do a hip drop, you get suspended. But I guess we'll talk about it more in the next game. There was hip drops in the next game that weren't Simbin. So what do you make of this hip drop? Do you think they're cracking down on it way too hard? These Simbinings, do you think it has to be? I've read that it should be if the player gets injured, then it should be a 10 in the bin. But if it's accidental, it shouldn't. Like, what do you make of that?
This tackle's been around for God knows when. Like I was listening to a podcast in the week with Cameron Smith and Devin Kemp, man, with the made bloke in a bar on SEN 1070. Captain's Run is the podcast, and you listen to Cameron Smith, and he says even before he was playing this game, this tackle was in the game. It's just now highlighted that these injuries, these big injuries, have come from it. Look, I've seen this tackle happen and players bounce up and nothing said, but as soon as someone goes down and clutches at the ankle like they've been shot, it only gets highlighted then. And look, if the NRL want to stamp this tackle out of the game for good, well, they're going to keep going down on it hard, even if it's accidental. Accident's going to happen, but you still got to pay a penalty for it, and they're cramping down on it. So any player laying on the back of the legs, I'm sorry, you're going to enjoy 10 minutes on the sidelines.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I think this can, I guess, be resolved. And the way I look at it is we need to, I guess, call held a bit earlier. Like, don't allow that player to take 10, 20 steps where I'm wrapped around his shoulders. He keeps walking and I slip. Like, those are the ones where I kind of go, maybe they're a little bit unlucky. We saw the one with the Bulldogs last week where he got off straight away for that instant. So it's definitely an interesting one, but obviously they are trying to get rid of it. We are seeing a lot more ankle injuries and knee injuries, so I do understand why they're cracking down. But obviously this game, the tail of the tape, first half, Roosters resilient in the sim bin in. I think it was 8-0 penalty count. I said to you something after like 15 minutes. It finished 14-4. So Nico Hines shut up in the second half. He went short side. He broke the game open. He scored that try. But talk to me, I guess, about this penalty count, because we've seen not just the Roosters, we'll talk about a few other teams, but we've seen some players, it's 10 in the bin, it's a penalty. And then we'll talk about in the next game, you've got someone like a Jake Trbojevic who flips someone onto their back and it's on report penalty, not a sim bin. But I can guarantee you if that was let's go from the Roosters, Radley, Tamalalo from the Cowboys, Nelson from Melbourne, surely they're sitting down. Like, is it something that the referees are reffing names in some instances?
Kinda. Like, Jakey's got that good boy figure. Like, he's that kind of bloke that you just go, he's not going to do.
Yeah, but of course he's a good boy. If every time he does something bad, we say it's not bad.
But even looking through his past games, he hasn't really done anything that you go, oh, that's a bit 50-50. It's only now, I think, like, this is the big first one where we go, well, they're cramping down on it elsewhere, but yeah, this one was let go. Look, I don't know about the penalties. Just the way the referees refereed the game, it felt right. The way when he was giving them. So I had no objections to him giving those penalties away. And look, if a team keeps giving away penalties, the referee's going to keep blowing his whistle. So what else is he supposed to do?
Well, I mean, he's supposed to call them both ways because there's multiple. I mean, I'm not being unbiased here. I'm listening to 2GB, listening to NRL 360. They're saying there was multiple penalties let go in this game alone. There was high tackles let go. There was forward passes let go. So if you get every call, you don't crack down on one side. But
you're not going to get every call, but I understand what you're saying. You want it more 50-50.
Well, perfect one was last week. Radley goes to the bin for hitting Munster late. The same try happened with Sam Walker. No one goes to the bin because Sam Walker jumps back up and celebrates. Munster stays down. The guy goes for 10. The same thing happens in the next game, the Manly game. Daly Cherry Evans stays down twice. The guy goes for a bin twice. Jake Trbojevic flips someone. The guy jumps back up and he goes, oh, you don't have to go to the bin now. The guy's not injured.
I don't think we should be ruling giving away penalties or ruling on the fact that a player has been injured or not been injured. I think it should just be the act itself, regardless of what the outcome is. If he's injured, if he gets away with it, Scott, like if the player comes off it scratch free, I think that's a bonus. But if a player goes down injured, I think we just, you need to still rule with an iron fist.
Yeah, well, nonetheless, this was a good win by the Sharks. They obviously did deserve it based on the back of that second half performance. I think from a Roosters perspective, I look at that 88% and I go, you know what, we're probably going to win most games now if we can tune in that discipline with an 88% completion rate. But the benefit of this, there was no injuries to come out of this game. Obviously, Nate Butcher, like we said, the grade 2 dangerous contact, he will miss the Anzac Clash with a 1-match suspension. And obviously, Brandon Smith, grade 1 careless high tackle, did take the $3,000 fine. And the Dally M's, 6 points, Nico Hines deserved, 2 points, Blake Brayley, 2 points, Talakai, 1 Nakora, and 1 for Lindsay Collins. What do you make of Nico Hines? Do you think there's a big chance that he can go back-to-back, or is there too many superstars at the Sharks to take points away from him?
Just his position-wise, I think him being the 7, he's going to get the credit where credit's due in most games, but also having the 7 also attracts a bit of a pat on the back when you're not really need. So will he be the first player to go back-to-back in Dally M history? Probably. It'd be fun. It'd be good to see. I just thought Lindsay Collins deserved more than 1 point in a losing squad. I think he really paved the way for how the Roosters went forward with the ball in the middle.
Yeah, I've got 100% agree with you there. I think Lindsay Collins has been our best player of the year so far. He's definitely laid the platform when he has been playing. So it's good to see him going hard, especially with obviously Hargraves most likely moving on at the end of the season. You've got a young, up-and-coming young player coming through that can lead a group. But let's